What's up, guys? Out here. Welcome back to another video on the channel, and today we have flag of the day number 2, and is Liberia. All right. Not really sure if I'm gonna keep calling it flag of the day or flag of the week. I don't know if I think I'm gonna do these once a week. So I might just do flag of the week, and you do it that way. But right now, flag of the day number 2, flag of the week part 2, whatever you want to say. And we have Liberia. And as you can see on the left side here, Liberia's flag. If you're from the United States, looks kind of similar, and we'll actually get into that why. So getting into Liberia's flag history, the original flag was created in 1827, and it looked a lot like the United States flag because at the time, Liberia was still an American colony. So at one point in history, the USA actually was in charge of basically Liberia, and it was actually a colony of ours in Africa. It actually used to have, or it had 13 red and white stripes, which, if you know the United States flag, have the same. And they had a blue square on the top left, just like we do, except for theirs had a white cross. So instead of stars, they had a white cross, and they had the 13 red and white stripes. But 20 years later, in 1847, when Liberia became independent, their flag changed to what it is today, with some small changes. The 13 stripes actually went down to 11, as you can see on the left there. If you count them, the red and white stripes are down to 11 instead of 13. And then instead of a instead of a cross in the top left side, the blue, they changed it to a star. All right, and Liberia's flag. The symbolism of it. The star symbolizes the pride of being the first independent westernized state in Africa, and the liberation of former slaves. So a lot of slaves came from Liberia into the Western countries, and it was also very westernized. Like I said, we, as the United States, kind of ruled over them. They were a colony of ours. So they're the first country to become independent from a westernized country as well. Also, like I said, with the slaves, a lot of slaves came from Liberia. So, being freed from that is also a great reason for their flag to represent. The 11 stripes actually symbolizes the 11 men who signed Liberia's Declaration of Independence, so they have a declaration as well, and 11 people signed it, so those 11 men are the reasons why they have 11 stripes now instead of 13. Liberia is big on county flags as well. I noticed I didn't throw any county flags on here, but they are big in county flags ever since their independence. These different county flags show the uniqueness of each county, and also paying homage to Liberia as a whole. So if you want to look them up, just look up Liberia's county flags, and they take pride in those as well. A lot of them have the Liberian flag in the top left corner, and then just a design everywhere else. But yeah, it's pretty cool that they actually take pride in flags too. So more on Liberia. It was established, like I said, in 1847, but it was on July 26th that happened, 176 years ago. It is located in Africa. The capital is Monrovia, and the population fluctuates, but it's about 5.2 million people that live there. The currency is the Liberian dollar. They use LRD for that. So one Liberian dollar is actually a half of a penny. 0.005 USD. So yeah, I think it's 186 Liberian dollars to equal $1 US. So that's kind of a lot. We could be a millionaire there with not so much money here. Their English actually is their primary language. Majority of the country speaks English, which is kind of cool if you wanted to visit Liberia. It's pretty easy for anyone in North America or anybody that speaks English. So fun facts. Liberia is Latin for land of the free, which I thought is kind of funny. As you can see, there's just a lot of similarities from the United States to Liberia. Even down to the name. Liberia, like I said, is Latin for land of the free. And the capital is actually named after former U.S. President James Monrovia, who was a supporter of freed slaves returning to Africa. So not saying he wasn't like slaves need to go back to Africa where they came from, right? No, he was saying once the slaves were free, he encouraged them to go back, not as get out of here, but as we did wrong, and please go to your family, go to your homeland, and you know in yeah, I don't know it. I didn't take it, and the more I did research on it, he definitely was for more, go back and kind of like we're sorry type of thing. They were the first country in Africa to have a female president, which I thought was pretty cool. Ellen Johnson Sirleaf. Hopefully, I'm saying the last name right. You can also see a lot of Western or Americanized names, Ellen Johnson, but then adding that Sirleaf in the end. Was the 24th president and took office in 2006, so that's kind of cool. The current president since 2018 is actually George Weah. He was actually a former professional football or soccer player. Actually, his son Timothy Weah plays for the United States national team. So George Weah was amazing at soccer. Great player. If you ever want to look up the highlights, he was a pretty good player. Yeah, and he's pretty young still, and he's now the president of Liberia. There's a town called Smell No Taste, which I thought was very interesting, but it kind of has a dark background. During World War II, the U.S. Positioned troops right outside of a town. The smell of the soldiers cooking food would drift into town, and since the citizens couldn't enter the U.S. base, they could smell the food but couldn't taste, therefore naming it the Smell No Taste town. Pretty sad, right? We have, the Liberia was going through it as well during World War II, and they couldn't join the United States for their meals and stuff, so they just, I couldn't imagine not being able to eat, and then you just smell decent food or any food at all being cooked right there. So, yeah, kind of a sad backstory to it, but also kind of a funny name. Smell No Taste, right? Per their constitution, only dark-skinned people can have citizenship. This is because of the traumatic past of enslavement from foreigners. So again, like I said, the U.S. and other countries got a lot of slaves from Liberia. So they said you have to be darker-skinned to have citizenship. I don't know if that... I don't know if... And I'll have to look into it. I don't even know, if somehow a lighter skinned or a white person would have citizenship and they had a kid there, would that kid automatically get Liberian citizenship? Even if he is lighter or white skinned? I don't know. That's something to think about and look into, I guess. Here's some pretty photos. The top left there is Monrovia's coastline, which I think is a beautiful place. I like that island with that own island with a couple of houses on it. That's pretty cool. Liberia's national animal right there is the lion. And the pygmy hippo is actually critically endangered. There's less than like 3,000 hippos, pygmy hippos there. So those guys are going through it right now, and hopefully they can stay alive. And the national dish, which I thought was kind of a funny name, it's called Dumboy. And basically what it is just meat, any type of meat that you want, uncooked shrimp, some onions, peppers, okras. Oh my god, I was tripping there. Bay leaves and salt. So that's basically what it is. You put it like almost like a stew type thing. So yeah, that is all I have for there. We can go to Google Maps, and I'll show you guys where we're at. That is from our last one. We were talking about Belize. We'll go to United States, and we'll show you where it is in reference to. Anytime now. Here we go. Alright, so here we are, United States, and I told you that Liberia is in Africa. Liberia is in West Africa, and let's head there. Boom. There is Liberia on the coast, the west coast of Africa. Monrovia, their capital, like I said, is on the coast as well. Beautiful little capital there. It would be pretty cool to visit Liberia. Liberia, like I said, speaks English, so it wouldn't be too hard for me to to communicate and get around there. So if you guys enjoyed, like and subscribe. Next week, man, I said would look it up this time, and I totally forgot what next one is. But expect another video, flag of the week, flag of the day next week. Yeah, like and subscribe. I'm out. Peace.